Hello and welcome to the Spreadex Six, brought to you by WhoScored. I'm your host, George Elek, and I'm joined yet again by Jack Wright as we look ahead to this weekend's Premier League fixtures with 6 spread bets with Spreadex ahead of the games. Those are a total goals bet, total corners, total bookings, player goal minutes, multi-markets and match performance as well. Do check out the Spreadex YouTube channel where you can find an explanation into spread betting. And the guys at Spreadex have very kindly got a new offer for viewers of this show, a free £10 total goals spread bet you can have if you sign up using the link in the description below. So click on that link if you haven't got an account already, sign up through there and we get a £10 free goals bet. And, you know, for a free goals bet, I think we start with total goals, don't we? And this is a brave one. I mean, I know it's a free offer, this.
Yeah.
City v Palace. Everyone's going to think you're buying total match goals, you're buying City goals.
City goals. I'm a coward after all.
Palace goals, 0.7.
Yes, exactly. It's a really nice line. So it's fairly low risk. Obviously, even lower risk with the free offer that's on the table at the moment. But there's a method to my madness in this one, you'll be pleased to know. And obviously, City did concede 3 goals at the weekend, and this isn't just based on that. It's more a case of how Newcastle went about City and caused them problems. We all know that City do like to play with their fullbacks advanced and very narrow, and Alan Saint-Maximin obviously caused a bit of havoc out there on the left-hand side on Sunday. And for Saint-Maximin, I think we can read Wilfried Zaha this week. A player is in brilliant form, and he's got that fantastic link-up with Eze at the moment. And I just feel that he can get in behind Kyle Walker if he's playing there and come from out to in as he scored at the weekend. Scored 2 goals then. He's now scored 12 goals in 2022 in the Premier League, and only the dynamic duo of Harry Kane and Heung-min Son have scored more than that in the Premier League in that period of time. As far as Palace, they're going to go to the Etihad as probably one of the sides that would have the most confidence to do that. They've actually picked up 7 points in their last 4 visits to Manchester City, and they've won, say, 2 of the last 4 games. They've scored 2 goals or more in 3 of those 4, including a 2-0 win there last season, in which Zaha scored after just 6 minutes. So we're going to buy it 0.7.
Yeah, I was there last night to watch Palace putting 2 past Oxford United, so they can do that, no doubt. They can put 2 past Manchester City.
It's a very good comparison.
On to total corners now. Forest against Spurs, 2 sides that have seen plenty of corners this season, and for that reason you're buying at 10.7. That's
right, yeah. These 2 sides ranked 3rd and 4th as far as total corners are concerned in the Premier League this season. A combined average of 12 per game. Should expect to see Forest, obviously as a newly promoted side, looking to try and contain this Spurs side, who we do expect to be in the top 4 come the end of the season. How are Spurs going to go about it? Well, we'd expect them to have a lot of the ball, and when they do, 40% so far of their attacks this season have gone down the right-hand side, where Emerson Royale's been a constant with Kulusevski. On the left, Sessegnon started the first 2 games, and then even Perisic made his full debut last weekend, impressively so, claiming an assist as well. 36% down the left, so 75% of their attacks go down one wing or the other. As a result of that, 13 corners in Spurs' only away games so far this season. They've also seen 13 and 12 in both home games as well, so it's very consistent. And as far as Forest are concerned, their only home games so far this season also saw 13 when they hosted West Ham, who had Forest had 43% of the ball. So we should see a similar dynamic here. So a similar result, Bayern at 10.7 total corners.
Lovely stuff. On to bookings now, and you are smashing this market. Of the 6 markets in the Spreadex Six, this is the one Jack is the most up for the season, 49 points just after 3 game weeks. And you're looking to buy again here, and looking at Everton specifically, 10 points for a yellow, 25 points for a red, and you're buying at Everton bookings at 22.
I am, yeah. I really like this game for bookings. And of course, as you know, I do like to have my special hot list of referees. And this is one I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. It's the ref that loves to book, John Brooks. Yeah. And so we've got a game here, Brentford versus Everton. Can we call it a relegation battle? I'm sure Brentford fans would probably have a conversation about that. But it's a big game nonetheless, especially for Everton, who've only just got 1 point on the board from their opening 3 games. And of course, had a terrible away record last season, just getting 10 points. So the way Lampard's going about things this season just seems to be that kind of siege mentality, that more of aggressive style of play. As a result, they've picked up 30 booking points twice already this season. Last season, they were the 4th most yellow-carded team in the league with 78 yellow cards, but did pick up the most red cards, that 25-point magic number, with 6 red cards across their games last season. So this season started very similar, 6 in the table as far as yellow cards are concerned. They've picked up 7 so far. Last season, Everton got 30 booking points in this particular game, and there was 50 when the sides played at Goodison. The only side to visit Brentford this season picked up 40 booking points. And just to touch on Brooks, again, as I mentioned last time, the most highest average, yellow card per game average in the league last season with 5.25 cards per game is 4 games. He doesn't get too many, so when he's given a game, the sirens go off. 50 points twice and 90 points once in those 4 games. So 1 game this season so far, 60 booking points. We're going to be buying Everton booking points here at 22.
Get your book out, Brooksy.
Oh, yes.
Player goal minutes now. This is the total cumulative minutes that a player scores in a game. You are looking at the same game. Brentford's hosting Everton. So many Brentford players you could be picking here. You know, you got Tony, Mbomo, Visa, De Silva. Nope, it is Rico Henry, the flying left back at 4.
Exactly, yeah. So a change of strategy. Having jinxed the 3 of the best strikers in the Premier League over the last 3 weeks, I've gone for a very much a low risk strategy here. High reward, of course, with a line set at 4. I'd be disappointed if he scores in the first 3 minutes, but there we go. That's a risk we'll take. A very progressive defender, as you said. This say obviously not just plucked out of the air. 4 shots so far this season from Rico Henry in his 3 games, but 3 of those came in his only home game so far. That one against Manchester United, of course. We'll mention it again. Last season, 14 shots, 5 of those on target, and produced 3 goals. So a decent return for a non-penalty taking left back, wing back. We don't have to look too far back either for his last goal for Brentford. That came in May, back end of last season, the winner in a 3-2 victory against Everton. Very nice indeed. So we'd expect him to get forward very much so in this particular game. Obviously the Bees will target this as a game that they can win against, as we mentioned, an Everton side that are terrible away from home. So we should see him, well progressed and hopefully taking at least as many shots as he did in that game against Man United. So we're buying his line here at 4.
Buying at 4 for Rico Henry, a player that I think should be in England contention, but Gareth seems to disagree. Multi-markets now, this is where you combine, you multiply 2 match event values against each other. You're looking at corners times booking points here, so high volatility. Maybe be careful with your staking size, because this is total corners times by booking points. That again is 10 points per yellow, 25 points per red. Villa against West Ham, possibly the 2 teams who've had the poorest starts to the season so far. Yeah. You're buying at 4.25. Yeah,
as you say, very volatile, so do be careful on this one. This isn't the low-risk strategy, but we did win a very similar bet to this a couple of weeks ago. So, as you rightly say, 2 sides that be desperate for a win. Villa have at least picked up 3 points this season in their only home game so far. West Ham's league season couldn't get off to a worse start. 3 games, 3 defeats, no goals scored, and even missed a penalty on the way as well. Last season, we saw 3 yellow cards and 1 red card in this game, so 55 booking points. Both sides picked up 50 booking points in their respective home and away games this season. So, referee, he's not good enough to have a rhyme yet, but David Coote is the referee. 30 booking points, a solid start to the season with his only game so far. But he did have the 2nd highest cards per game average. We know who was behind, John Brooks, last season with 4.6 yellow cards per game. So a solid appointment for this. 21 corners across the 2 games last season, averaging, of course, 10.5. 13 corners in Villa's only home game so far. 13 corners in West Ham's only away game so far. So we're going to be buying the line at 4.25. Those averages would smash this line.
I've got a rhyme for you.
Oh, go on.
Toot, toot, coot.
Oh.
Always blowing his whistle.
Nice. Yeah. David Coote bringing the loot.
Yes, that is also
I was
good.
waiting for him to win this before I did that one.
Yeah, I'll leave it to the viewers to decide. Match performance now. This is where every match event has its own value, including goals, bookings, corners, and then a 0-0 draw is -25. We call it the Holy Grail on the Spreadex Six. You're going in search of that Holy Grail again. Brighton versus Leeds. 2 teams have had fantastic starts to the season. The match performance is 90 to sell.
Yeah. Where's that Holy Grail, George?
We're going to find it.
I thought I found it last week. 81 minutes 0-0, and then it went to
2 goals.
Yeah, disappointing. But as I said, I was very impressed with both these sides last weekend. I watched the Brighton game at West Ham. They kept West Ham at arm's distance throughout. Usual style from Brighton, nice passing between the lines, very controlled performance. Cool, calm and collected, I think it was for me. The question always with Brighton is, can they finish a team off? They did on this occasion, 2 goals, one obviously being a penalty as well. Leeds, probably the opposite of that, absolutely high intensity, completely smothered Chelsea, all over them like a rash, white hot atmosphere at Ellen Road. I just have a feeling that these two sides might cancel each other out, as they did last season. This game ended in a 0-0 draw. The other thing with Brighton being the home side here is they do struggle a bit more at home than they do away. Last season they had the 5th best away record and have got 6 points from 6 this season. Home last season ranked 16th in the league, so considering where they finished, a long way down. And their only home game so far this season, 0-0 against Newcastle. So the comparisons, Newcastle and Leeds as well. So a good starting point. Quickly onto the discipline side of things. Leeds a lot better this season, 10th in the table, so slap bang in the middle. Brighton down in 19th, so the second best disciplinary record in the league. Only 7 corners in this game last season, and this season Leeds average 5 per game, which is the 9th best in the league, and Brighton down in 14th with an average of 4.33. So we're going to be selling this at a line of 90.
There you go, selling at a line of 90. That is Jack Spreadex 6 ahead of this weekend's Premier League fixtures. As I say, Spreadex very kindly with a new customer offer for viewers of this show. Do click on the link below and you'll get a £10 free goals bet. Jack there buying Palace's goals at Manchester City at 0.7. But you can choose your own one as well. But have a look at the Spreadex site across all games this weekend as well for all of your spread betting needs. And do subscribe to the WhoScored YouTube channel as well, where you can find the Spreadex 6 every week and plenty of other preview content as well. And also check out the WhoScored site for all of your stats ahead of the games too. Thank you very much for watching this. Always remember that with spread betting, losses can exceed your initial deposit. And please do ensure you're gambling responsibly and do enjoy the weekend's football.